Forest, a natural resource. Forest is an area with high density of trees. It is composed of plants, animals and microorganisms. About one-third of the world's land surface is covered by forests. Forests are of different types, depending on their geographical location. The main features that characterize a forest are its soil and topography. The forest floor provides favorable conditions for the seeds to germinate and develop into seedlings and saplings. Some grow up into trees. The branchy part of the tree above the stem is known as the crown of the tree. The branches of the tall tree look like a roof over the other plants in the forest. This is known as canopy. Trees have crowns of different types and sizes. These create different horizontal layers in the forest. These are known as understories. Giant and tall trees constitute the top layer, followed by shrubs, and tall grasses and herbs form the lowest layer. Due to different climatic conditions, there are variations in the types of trees and other plants. The type of animals also differs from forest to forest. Recycling of nutrients. In forest, you will come across variety of insects, spiders, squirrels, ants, butterflies, and numerous other small animals. Apart from the animals which are easily seen, there are several organisms and microorganisms that live in the soil. They feed on the dead plants and animal tissues and convert them into a dark-colored substance called humus. The microorganisms which convert the dead plants and animals to humus are known as decomposers. These microorganisms play an important role in the forest. The presence of humus ensures that the nutrients of dead plants and animals are released into the soil. From there, these nutrients are again absorbed by the roots of the living plants. The dead animals become food for vultures, crows, jackals, and insects. In this way, the nutrients are cycled. Forests are called green lungs because plants release oxygen through photosynthesis, which helps animals in respiration. It also maintains the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That is why forests are called green lungs. Forests are also facing a tough time like any other natural resource. They are largely being cut to meet the requirements of the growing population. Importance of forests. Forests have been useful to man since primitive time. Early man gathered many skills from the forests. Discovery of fire, wheel, agriculture, all are credited to the forests. Wildlife depends largely on forests. Typical varieties of plants and trees are found in the forests. There are a number of ways in which we directly or indirectly depend on the forests. Rainwater falls on the leaves of trees and then drips slowly on the forest floor. Thus, water does not collect and stagnate on forest floor. This prevents flooding. The roots of the trees prevent soil erosion. They keep the soil particles bound by their roots. Trees help in regulation of temperature by absorbing groundwater through their roots. This water is then released in the form of water vapor and helps in bringing rain. Plants in the forest absorb water from the soil and release it into the air through transpiration. This increases the amount of water vapor into the air and helps in cloud formation. It causes an increase in rainfall. It also cools the surrounding air. Trees help in checking global warming by absorbing carbon dioxide, which is the main greenhouse gas. Some trees act as windbreakers on the coastal areas. They can withstand strong winds, thereby preventing the area from any kind of damage due to heavy winds. A variety of wood is available from trees like mahogany, sal, teak, and rosewood. These are the sources of raw materials to many industries like plywood, paper, and pulp. A variety of spices, nuts, dry fruits and fruits are available from trees in the forest. Forests are the home to many medicinal plants also. A variety of fiber is made available to us through the forests. Some common fibers are cotton, jute, linen, hemp, and flax. These fibers can be brought to a number of domestic as well as commercial uses. Forests are the sites of attraction for tourists, geologists, and naturalists. Interdependence of plants and animals. Plants and animals depend on each other for basic survival needs like food, protection, shelter, and propagation. They are interconnected and interdependent. Dependence of animals on plants. For food, all animals depend for their food directly or indirectly on green plants. For oxygen, plants produce oxygen during photosynthesis, and animals require oxygen for respiration. For shelter, some animals depend on plants for shelter and safety. Trees provide protection from rain and shade from the heat of the sun. Dependence of plants on animals. For carbon dioxide, animals produce carbon dioxide during respiration, which is released in the atmosphere. Plants utilize this carbon dioxide for preparing their food. For pollen and seed dispersal, a number of insects and birds help in pollination. Some animals help in dispersal of fruits and seeds. For supplying nutrients, animal excreta and their dead bodies on decomposition add nutrients to the soil. They act as manure and provide mineral for plant growth. Avoid deforestation. Deforestation is cutting down of trees. The most important reason behind it is the growing population and growing needs. However, the shrinking of forest area has led to a number of negative impacts like floods, droughts, decrease in rainfall, soil erosion, and increasing temperature. Global warming due to increase in the level of carbon dioxide is due to deforestation. Hence, there is constant need to manage forests. Here are some ways to avoid deforestation. Afforestation. This is the practice of renewing a forest by planting seedlings or small trees. Selective cutting of trees and plantation provide wood for constructions and also keep the forest cover intact. Protection from insects and pests. Methods of controlling diseases in forests include removing infected trees and using insecticides and fungicides. Insects and pests can be controlled by natural pest predators. Protection from fire. Trees in forest areas are destroyed by fire every year. Forest fires are controlled by spraying fire extinguishing solutions from aircrafts or by changing the direction of wind by using strong blowers. Protection from overgrazing. Overgrazing by cattle not only destroys grasslands but also trees in forests. Overgrazing must be prevented to save forests. Food chain. All animals depend on plants for their food requirements directly or indirectly. The producers are eaten up by the herbivores. Herbivores, in turn, are eaten up by carnivores. Carnivores may further be eaten up by other large carnivores. In this food chain, energy is transferred from plants to herbivores and from herbivores to carnivores. This process of food transfer from plants through a series of organisms with repeated eating and being eaten is called a food chain. Thus, a food chain indicates who eats whom. A typical food chain in grassland is grass, deer, lion. A typical food chain in pond is algae, small fish, hawk. Or plants, caterpillar, sparrow, hawk. Food web. We have several food chains in nature that are connected to each other. All food chains are interlinked. This interconnected network of food chains is called food web.